Technical difficulty aside, we are back to spraying. I think.
It was almost saying spray it without the say part.
Life would have been ruined.
The Silent Spray Wednesdays.
Yes, Jim, I agree. This game is a banger.
So good.
So how are you, Jim? Got the left knees. We finally found a ladder worse than source ladders.
Made with Unity, I think, yeah. Because I think it says it on boot up.
Oh, yeah, that
Who would have thought?
that company is doing some shit.
Oh, is it? I haven't heard.
Don't exactly remember what, but it was something scummy last I checked.
Oh no.
Circling to the last hour of work.
Oh boy.
I think it's like something the creator said or is planning on doing or some jank.
Huh. Are they going to Area 51 now? Yo, what's up, Aka? Happy Owls! Yeah, I was watching PokePulch open cards last night, and it was the first time I noticed that he's got an owl tattoo on his neck. It's like very random to me. I don't know.
Dig it.
I don't know. Not a tattoo I would have. Oh no, there she is. There's Rainbow.
Rainbow, hi.
She's been summoned. How are you, Rainbow?
Yeah, these trims with the underside that you have to clean always screws me up.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Catabella. You have a meeting in a few minutes. Nice. I hope it's a meeting that could have been done by email, but they want to do it in person. The best kind of meeting.
We had the first time in a couple years since they stopped doing this during the pandemic, even though it's still going, but they did like what they call an all-hands meeting at work yesterday.
Okay.
It was the dumbest shit.
What happened?
It's just them. To use the best metaphor I can think of, and just really succinctly sum up what these meetings are all about, it is basically just a masturbation session.
I see.
They're trying to pretend that it's about us, but it's really about them. It's for them, it's not for us.
So they just pat themselves on the back for a bunch of things.
Pretty much.
Fun.
Thanks to your hard work, we saved $28 million, so where's our cut?
It's on their yacht, dude.
Or the fucking rocket.
Oh yeah, because you're right. You actually have a source for WoW. WoW engine, not source engine.
Woe is me. Yeah, this fucking matter. Alright. We have cleaned the fascist. I mean fascio.
Oh, you.
More like clean as clunk.
Ding-a-ling?
Yes.
The guy's back.
I was going to ask about that. You mentioned that there was like a new Digimon movie or something.
Yeah, it's technically not like new, but I finally saw the last Evolution one.
Oh yeah, me exposing myself as still haven't watched any Try.
Dang. Yeah, it takes place after Try.
I'm gonna try hard.
So, get on that, because it was phenomenal. You just have to sit through Try.
Very enough. It's like I always had the pipe dream, like, oh, I kind of want to watch the series again first, but that's going to take 10 years, so...
Oh, man, yeah.
Because, like, it basically ignores Adventure 2, right?
It doesn't ignore it, but the cast does nothing.
Ah.
They basically show the cast getting owned in the beginning, and whenever it's resolved, they don't even show them on screen. They're just kind of like, oh, it's a good thing the O2 cast is okay.
Nice.
It's like so weird.
No, Rainbow is not what I said, but it could be. What?
Oh. It's actually the beach episode of the stream, everybody.
Is there a beach house level?
Yeah, no, sadly.
Damn.
It's weird. You kind of think maybe that would be one of the keynote locations now that I think about it, huh?
Like room.
But boy, have we got circuses for you.
I'm gonna try some of this soap. Just like the wood cleaner. Oh, damn. That is good. That's really good, huh? Did you hear the weird rumbling noise? Yeah, it's my power washer.
Yeah, one of the maps does have this very strange background noise, though. I'm still not sure what it was meant to be to this day, but I also didn't pay very good attention to the lore.
Huh. The lore is go clean things. It's called Mario Sunshine.
Oh, I saw the video lately on the Mirage Pipe or whatever.
Mirage Pipe. Is that the Mario Brothers one thing, or?
No, that was Sunshine.
Oh, that I don't actually know about.
Yeah, on what's that second level something harbor, Nico Harbor.
Yeah, Rico Harbor.
Rico Harbor. Okay. You can see an island in the distance that has a pipe on it, but if you go to the overworld, that same island doesn't have a pipe on it.
No, I never noticed that. Huh.
Yeah. So someone was trying to figure out, like, what was it maybe meant to be? Did they, like, displace another one of the islands or something on the other side that does have a pipe? So it was pretty cool.
You need to go ask Miyamoto himself. Or you, get on here.
Yeah. Still very sad I didn't LP that game, but maybe someday, because GameStop ripped me off.
Oh, they didn't? Wait. Was this the sword I forgot about?
Maybe. I don't know. I had ordered the Switch version of the...
3D
what was it called?
All-Stars?
Yeah, 3D All-Stars. And they just never shipped it, so I had to get a refund.
Damn.
And they're big meanie heads. I don't like them.
I'd say you should sue, but Mario's dead, so you can't really...
Mario's dead. What the flip?
That was a good meme for a little bit, how like, since they were closing Mario 35 and getting rid of... and delisting 3D All-Stars like March 31st last year or whatever.
I see, okay.
So the big joke is that they're actually just killing Mario.
I was like, what the heck? All right, JTP, enjoy your meeting, I guess, if you can.
I didn't kill Mario, Nintendo did. Dear Luigi's eternal now.
Hey, Luigi fans rejoice. You finally got what you want. But can you live with the console? You probably can.
It's too bad we didn't kill Mario, because now we got fucking Chris Pratt playing him.
Oh, no. Yeah, man, when's that supposed to come out?
Next year, question mark?
Next year? Okay.
I had
Somewhere around there, maybe.
no real interest from the start, but also because it's the same studio that created the Minions, so
Oh, no.
I'm scared.
Vanished forever. Alright, chat, does anyone in here actually like the Minions? You can fess up. We won't hurt you much. No.
I don't hate them in theory, I just hate how they propagated, so to speak.
Right, yeah, that's understandable.
If Despicable Me was just one movie, and then the memes died off after like a year, it'd be one thing, but I've never actually seen a movie all the way through. I mean, apparently it's a good movie, but
Oh, okay.
you know what happens when a
That's-
corporation makes a good movie? They franchise it.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Were they in their own movie, or is it just Despicable Me or whatever?
I think they just had a new movie come out this year, so
Oh, dang. Okay, well, yeah, there you go.
I think it's their only standalone Minions movie, but everything else has been Despicable Me stuff, to my knowledge.
Despicable.
You know, Sylvester's will be better.
There were supposed to be silly Twinkies in overalls, but became an amalgamation of rubbish. Good, Aka. Good.
That's simply how you view them.
Rainbow is gonna have more heat, I guess. The UK is having a fun time.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Finish this. Yeah, it looks like a dirt thing, but it's not. I gotta finish cleaning the wall up there, brother.
I can't remember what stream I was in the other day. Oh, it was Zeldathon that was referencing that, actually.
Oh, really?
Very surprised. I wouldn't assume those guys would have anything to do with wrestling.
Well, that's just narrow-minded. No.
Oh yeah, we'll take this water now.
I will. I will drink it. Maybe not this water, actually. If you're ever overheating on a hot summer's day, just take a PowerWash nozzle and no.
Oh. I was a run through the sprinklers kid.
I don't think we ever had sprinklers, but then again, we did have a pool, so.
Oh, okay. There you go. A formal pool or like one of those kiddie blow-up pool things?
Yeah, like a real above-ground pool.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which, having driven by that house a couple times in the past, and recently, they took that down. The new owners did. It's like, why would you?
Wow. Man, that just means more yard work. Forget that. At least if you ignore the pool for a while, you don't really have to maintain it. You just have to, like, clean it later. With PowerWash now.
Don't know when to power wash a pool liner. Might be a mistake.
You love how the first level of this game had the freaking, the couch It's like, yeah, let's just spray the couch. That's a good idea.
Makes sense to me.
I love it.
Starting to think I need to buy new headphones. This keeps starting to slide off.
Oh, really? Was like one of the things broken?
No, it's just, I guess maybe just, my phone needs a little while. Maybe just starting to get loose is all.
Okay.
They were like a cheap brand. I mean, like a good cheap brand, I guess.
There. Ugh, I need to replace my my UPS backup battery for the computer because it failed the self-test, so it might be on its way out. But every like listing on Amazon has a billion people who are like, this is cool, and then the other billion are like, this doesn't work at all, like wouldn't even fit in the machine or whatever.
Welcome to Amazon reviews.
Yeah, it's like, God.
I have to wonder how many people who say that this doesn't fit didn't actually buy the right part.
Yeah, I wonder. Because it feels very, it has Steam review energy, if that makes any sense to you.
It sure does.
Alright, chat, get me some Steam reviews. We're going to read them live now.
Game sucks, that's it.
Man, it's like you want to put some kind of review system in place, but customer-based reviews is such a lawless wasteland.
It sure is. So I would need to make everybody take a school course on how to write a review. No.
Read some Life is Strange remastered reviews. Oh no.
That sounds fun.
What did people end up thinking of the new one where the girl has the power to control emotions, but then the gimmick is she can't really control emotions or whatever? It seemed like very... I don't honestly have a great way to word it. It just seemed very pushy on certain stances. I'm not sure at all if it made for a good game, though.
Like Super Princess Peach? No.
Dead or Alive volleyball.
Oh, no.
I remember seeing that as a kid and just being like, what is going on here?
Why would they make a game of volleyball? No.
That might be the first time I actually understood, like, what very typical otaku weeb culture is.
Oh, yeah.
Dead or Alive volleyball. Grab those skimpy outfits, everybody.
Wanna get in that climb?
Because you're a fool, T.S. You're a fool. Actually, oh my god. You're having a time over there, actually.
I sure am. I get to this spot and I keep freezing up. I don't... I'll just take a step stool. It's good. I think I'll take a step stool. Nope.
You'll just have to grab my hand.
I'll take a ladder. It's good.
Oh, interesting. When you take the ladder, the little things pop up. I guess I didn't notice that before.
Oh.
True colors, okay. For as much as the graphics are more vibrant and the models have more cloth hair physics, the oversized bobblehead character models just ruin the game for me, literally unplayable. Oh no. Oh no. Life is Strange 2 is the one with pushy political racism, banned immigration. But True Colors is cool. Okay. I only really saw a review on True Colors, but the person who I watched the review of is like really notorious for hating Life is Strange, particularly Chloe from the first game. Like, this is the guy who, to make his point on how much he hated Chloe, he made a video comparing Chloe from Life is Strange to Aki Izawa from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. With the premise of the review being that Yu-Gi-Oh! Wrote better tragic characters than Life is Strange. That was how much he hated her.
I'm guessing this Yu-Gi-Oh! Character isn't good.
She is probably one of the strongest female starts to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Character ever, and then completely gets shafted to the side. So you end up just being mad at the potential that was wasted.
So anime.
Yeah, basically. Shonen specifically, yeah. Just more shonen BS, where the girls can't do anything.
Always watch our show.
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons I'm looking forward to writing Dokailo, is treating human beings like human beings. What a concept.
Who would do that? No. It's like another benefit is, you don't live in Japan where sexism is still an incredibly strong thing. I mean, worse than it is in America.
Man, yeah, apparently. What did I say? Doesn't sound realistic. Alright, Zuni, you're right. Time to bash them all now. Okay, how's it going, buddy? Hunger Games this Friday, chat.
I sure am hungry. Wait.
Oh, is it 3:30? I wanted to have a snack around 3:30. Oh, it's 3:41. Yeah, let's get our snack, chat.
Snack time.
I'll be right back.
Keep cleaning the gutters. Man, like, I know I never actually saw the entire Life is Strange. Every time I tuned in watching Team play it, I just remember getting very, very annoyed at the writing, I guess. I would have to, like, actually sit through, like, the entire game to know for sure, but at least there's beans, Chad. At least there's beans.
Beans? Oh no, did we start talking about Amogus?
No, I was talking about, actually, Life is Strange.
Oh, okay.
I was eating those beans, that one.
Doesn't ring a bell. No, okay.
Oh, there you go.
He spotted me, chat.
Well, the main thing is I work on Fridays, so that's why I'm not around.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait until 1 a.m. when TS comes back. All the UK people watching at like 8 a.m. are just like, I hate this.
Yeah, I noticed that. Ginger Games is pretty good too. While I'm up here, I just get this. Yeah, no, I'll just go try to get over here. Here we go.
I do have to say, in relation to like NitAir's post, it does feel like whenever a remaster of something comes out, they always manage to screw something up.
Yeah, remasters in general tend to attract a bunch of people who expect everything to just be the same, and no matter if it's like it's actually like I don't want to use it objectively, but like a good remaster, there'll always be somebody's like, well, this one tiny thing isn't the same as the original, so I prefer the original.
Right, yeah.
Now, sometimes it's valid. Like, the only attitude the only game I really had that attitude with is Wind Waker HD, actually, because I am just not a fan of how the graphics look in the remaster. So I do.
Yeah, with like the Super Bloom or whatever.
Yeah, I do think all the gameplay, well, most of the gameplay changes are better. There was one thing I was like, it's not even major anyway. It's like something I was a little bit iffy on was how they changed the location of the hero charm or whatever to let you see enemy health bars.
Oh, okay.
But that's like minor. I don't really care that much. I just thought it was a weird change. But I prefer the original because I like the way it looks better. And I can take or leave the gameplay changes, which, again, the gameplay changes are actually good. But
Sound like they nailed it maybe better than they did like Majora's Mask or something on the 3DS.
I still think I prefer Majora's Mask 3D. I personally think it does look better, and the Notebook... Okay, the Notebook is better now, but also it is kind of annoying as it pops up in your face every time something changes. The Song of Double Time is much better now because you can choose the exact hour you want to switch to, which is
that's
so
right,
good.
okay. Yeah, that did sound amazing.
The boss changes I can take or leave. Like, I never was that big a fan of the Majora's Mask bosses anyway. But okay, on second thought, no. I don't like the 3DS Twin Wolf fight. In concept, I love it, but in practice, it's really annoying, actually.
What was that one? They made it like a Bowser fight on the N64 or something?
On the 3DS one, like, you become giant, and yeah, you swing it around.
Yeah, what a weird idea. It just
Spin
doesn't sound very Zelda-like. I don't know.
Again, in concept, I love it, but in practice, it's really annoying, because, like, you have to do a certain amount of damage while Twin Mold is on screen, and when it goes down and comes back, that damage counter is reset. And it's sometimes hard to get that damage, and it's just very frustrating. Yeah, for the most part, I do prefer the 3DS version. But, I mean, at the same time, I don't think you can go wrong with either version, frankly.
Show you that you can now.
I saw someone mention the Final Fantasy Pixel Masters. I've only played Final Fantasy 4 Pixel Master because I've only played Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6. But I thought the Pixel Master was good. I thought the graphics were good. I thought the music remixes were incredible. It is kind of weird how they decided that they're only going to do like almost one-to-one with the original releases and not add any of the bonus stuff from like the PSP release or whatever. But as it stands, I think it's still like the definitive way to play Final Fantasy 4.
Warcraft 3 Reforged. I'm guessing there was some bad with that, huh? I never did Warcraft myself, though.
Same. I haven't played any MMO extensively. I think, like... I'm trying to think there's more than one. I don't think so, but... I remember when they made that Pirates of the Caribbean Online game, I did, like, remember downloading that and playing it for, like, one day.
You ever play that Sea of Thieves game?
No, but I've been tempted.
Okay.
Apparently it's decent.
It pops up around here every so often. I think Ashling plays it regularly, but I saw Patty playing it the other day. And I was like, oh yeah, this game.
A weird, rare pirate MMO. I mean, rare and pirates makes sense. You ever play Donkey Kong Country 2?
Nope, no. What's that? TS just like drops his power washer, just like, come here.
Oh shit, fell through roof. Dead.
DKC2 would honestly be like a great game to try running through on a 24-hour or something.
Yeah, when I was up in Rhode Island a couple weeks ago, hanging out with Quark, we finally played DKC2 all the way through in co-op. So that was fun.
Nice.
102%, baby.
Did you guys do like the co-op, or did you do you trade?
Yeah, the co-op.
I don't know what it is. Okay, nice.
Not the
versus, kind of. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I think the game does co-op versus actually.
Okay. Well, it smells now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Stealing this ladder. Get old nerd. No ladders for you.
I'm already on the roof. What can you do?
Stealing this roof now.
Well, I think the house owner would be upset about that. I think we'd lose our pay.
Nah, man, they're giving it to us as we clean things. It doesn't matter.
Run!
On to the next one. You see the volcano from up there? Is it visible from anywhere? It doesn't look like it.
Volcano.
Some of the maps have this volcano in it, and I guess it's supposed to be lore relevant, but I didn't read all the lore very well, so...
The lore is the volcano erupts and destroys all of your jobs. So much for that. At least you got paid.
Sea of Thieves is good until you're put into a server with hardcore PvPers. Alright, well, to be fair, that would probably be true of just about any MMO.
Probably, yeah.
Like, that was what ruined EVE Online for me, is I couldn't stand people actually using this game to try to make IRL money, and I was just like, alright, this is probably where I'm about finished with the MMO genre.
I'd like to play more MMOs, but the time investment is what turns me off from it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, what would I possibly have time to do?
That's why I don't play that many RPGs. I like RPGs a lot, it's just like they're usually very lengthy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here to talk to you about Xenoblade 3! No.
Oh, no. Scumbag!
Which I just beat on Monday. I stayed up until 5 a.m. to beat the game.
Oh god, already? Wait, when did it come out?
July 29th, so it's been a couple weeks.
My god.
79 hours, that was like my final time. It was good, really liked it. Still think about how I like it in relation to the other Xenoblade games. I mean, besides Xenoblade X, because no, that game's bad, but... game's not bad, I just really don't like it.
Right, Aqua wanted Xenoblade 3.
Yeah, Xenoblade 3 is really good. You're playing through the new Kirby game, nice. Forgotten Land is... Honestly, it might be my new favorite Kirby game, I'm not sure.
Cool.
It was my game of the year until Xenoblade 3 came out.
No, TS, this one's the game of the year. PowerWash to be labeled.
Didn't come out this year. Actually, wait, wasn't 1.0 was this year, wasn't it?
Probably, I don't know.
I thought about getting a special edition. There wasn't enough cool shit for me to justify it. A PowerWash, no, Xenoblade.
Special edition PowerWash. They just send you an actual PowerWash. Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm listening to what's called chiptune radio on the side. It's pretty cool. Like, it just cycles through like video game music and also like people's original chiptune style compositions.
Oh, okay.
Right now it's playing a River City Ransom song.
Let's get that Bomberman OST going.
It's got like a cooldown system though. It's like a song from a certain album plays, that entire album goes on cooldown until a very long time in most cases.
Oh, cool, okay. Right, so you get the most variety. That's kind of a cool little thing.
Yeah. It has multiple channels too. Like it has, let's look at the drop down real quick. It's called a rain wave.
Brainstorm, is this true? No.
There's the game channel, which is like any game. There's OC Remix, which is all OC remixes. There's covers, which is, I guess, OC Remix, but not. And then there's the all channel, which is everything.
Wunderbar.
The Collector's Special Edition for all these Xenoblades. I got the one for Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition. I didn't get the one for 2, and I'm probably not going to get the one for 3, but... Especially since, you know, you can only get on Nintendo's website for some reason.
Oh, weird, huh?
Apparently the pre-order hype was so large that it crashed the website when it first went live.
Oh, that's so awkward, jeez. Oh, it doesn't sound fun.
Please stay safe and dry.
Go outside and curse the old gods now.
Old man yells at cloud.
You like to collect things? Now, Akka, you're in a community run by a man who collects exactly 0 things now.
You were in a
6-hour virtual line?
Yeah, I think like the first time around, either they ran out of pre-orders or just the site was just crashing so bad that they opened a second window for it, and that window just put you in like in a queue, and like, ugh.
Out the lid. That sounds way screwed up.
Yes, it sounds like something similar to happen with like when the last Spider-Man movie came out, because the hype for that movie was through the roof, and people were like trying to buy tickets and shit. All the websites are crashing and all that, and people were, when people did get into the when people did get into something, they were put in a queue. So like,
I just can't fathom how that would go for man.
I think a 6-hour line was worth it. I mean, I would agree with that, but also it's just just thinking about it. It's like, oof. How much are they going for on eBay? Dare I ask?
One Digimon box now.
So $20. I don't know how much Digimon boxes are.
Yeah, okay. I wish.
Ah, so more than that.
That'd be $80, my friend.
Ah, that sounds about okay. So, Curse stream with VTuber knowledge. That's about the same price that boxes of their trading cards go for. So,
you say VTubers?
yeah.
Oh no,
It's
we're
like-
back, Chad. 300 to 400, Jesus.
Wow. It's like what? Was it 80 or 90? Well, no, it was more. It was at least 90, right?
For what, the special edition?
Yeah, wasn't at normal price.
Gotcha.
I think it was like 90. It might have been 100, but still, it wasn't 200. It wasn't 300 to 400. That's the main thing.
Right, yeah. Scalper buddies. Listen to there. I know I need to make merch. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
We're almost done here.
Excellent.
5 wooden trims, but taxes was 98. Okay. Oh, there you go. 90. That's what I thought it was. Well, before taxes, obviously. But...
My merch can mimic my facial expressions, where I just look like I'm done with life half the time now. No.
Find out where all the Damn wooden trims are.
A shirt that says Swindle Chopper in Comic Sans. God dang it. I do think I should have a Flint t-shirt, though. That people would wear a Flint t-shirt.
Or would they? No. I'm gonna sell merch. It's just bacon with my face on it.
The back just says something like really blatant, like, "You like bacon, don't you?"
Gotta find out where these wooden trims are.
Alright, it's usually going to be the like the undersides of these things. These are usually the last ones on this map, it feels like. Some more over here, maybe.
Hi, Solstice. I'll do my best. Oh, God!
Push. No. Right when I say push.
Perfect.
Good show. And bam.
Sick.
Alright. The Dokilo back Dokilo shirt. No, Catabella. With a little patch on the sleeve that says side Dokilo. Alright, that one's funny, but Catabella has the most lore on that.
Esther Diath. Or Death. Played the Wicked Witch in that classic movie. Alright. Sick. What's next? Clean the skate park. That's definitely where I'm going.
Oh man.
Shoot house.
You all ready for the skate park again, chat? That skate park is something.
Well, I'm
this
excited.
time I don't have my big gun.
Seems our little town is going up in the world. Muckingham, God. Skate park has been chosen to host the next county championships. Ordinarily, I leave the sullen types to roll around in their own filth, as is their wont. Well, this guy. But if it's getting in the papers and on TV, we can't have people seeing all that grime and funny writing, so I want you to hit it with everything you've got. I'm in. Waffle, hello!
Hit me with your best shot.
Do.
Oh, this one just loads me in, so it's only free play that we have to like.
Okay.
Okay, that's
or if you switch
cool.
modes, I suppose. Well, this sure looks like this looks like fun. Where's the nearest half pipe? I'm cleaning that first.
Yeah, welcome to the skate park, my friend.
Oh dear.
Enjoy your stay. If you can afford the next gun on this map, you might want to buy it. Let's talk about Vanguard. That's right. So what are the things we did on this map? The first time I was on this map, I talked about the Sonic movie. The second time I was on this map, I just raved about Vanguard for like an hour.
Vanguard. That's a... Is that a game, or is that a card game, or...?
It is a card game, yeah, but it has a surprisingly wholesome slice-of-life anime.
Alright, that's not what I expected.
Yeah. Even the bad guys are, like, really, you know, there's some that take it seriously, but most are, like, completely goofy and lovable. It manages to pull off quite the atmosphere. Still has some definitive Animu things, though.
I'm still, like... I'm still off of the anime train. Not, like, intentionally, just, like... It's not a lot that's really caught my interest lately.
That's understandable, yeah.
Like,
I don't know what I would watch, I mean, yeah.
Like, I've been watching the new Made in Abyss season, but,
Huh. Oh, didn't someone in chat want that? Was that Aka, maybe? Can't remember. Or was it Rainstorm?
I'm, like, 2 episodes behind.
Okay,
By
Rainstorm's
accident.
all in caps. I'm guessing it was Rainstorm.
Oh, it's a good show. But also, I'm caught up on the manga, though, so I guess I'm not as, like... urgent to watch each episode as it comes out.
Okay. Oh, you were trying to recruit Aka. That's what it was. Okay.
Solstice, I didn't know you watched it, Made in Abyss. Yeah, and... Oh yeah, you need to watch the movie first. The movie is, important.
Okay. Interesting.
Let's see, it's season 1, then the movie, then season 2.
Rainstorm's brainwashing my owls over here now.
Shockingly captivating, or captivating and shocking. Yeah, it's like... there's some, like, elements to it that kind of, like... Why did the author put this in here? But beyond that, the art and the story is really fucking good, so it's like... all
Fair.
about it. There's like... Actually, yeah, that first season has a moment where, like, I rarely cry at things, but there was a moment that season I fucking lose it, so...
Oh, understandable. Hey, the Digimon movie got me, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Last Evolution got me. I was like, dang, they laid into it hard.
So yeah, the music is really good. I always forget if the composer is Australian or British Australian, but it's like, it's very unusual for an anime to have, like, a non-Japanese composer, but his music is so good.
Okay. I feel like this might have been how Rainstorm advertised it to me one time. Yo, what's up, Omna?
Hey, Matheus.
Grassy.
Yeah, like, when they did, the Beast of the Tower of God adaptation, really don't know what that is. When Star Wars
Tower of
Visions came
God.
out... Oh, go ahead.
Isn't there something else you guys wanted me to watch? Tower of God? I can't remember.
When Star Wars Visions came out, the same studio that did Made in Abyss did an episode, and, like, the music in that episode really stood out to me, and it's like, wait a minute, is this the same guy who composed Made in Abyss? It was, and I was like, I knew it because the music was good.
Tower of Gods is a webtoon. Oh. Okay.
That Kevin Pankin guy knows his stuff. Didn't he, like, win an award, too? Or was, like, maybe it was, like, a Crunchyroll award or some kind? Deserved.
Alright, chat. My strat is to do the tops of the walls so TS doesn't actually get how annoying this map is.
That... I appreciate it, thank you. I really do just need to get a Crunchyroll subscription, but well, thinking I get to still watch that much anime, so I don't know. So I already got like all my subscriptions. I've got Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, and Hulu. And frankly, the only thing I'm watching Hulu is Animaniacs. I might just drop my Hulu sub after I'm done with it.
Oh, okay.
Which I feel like eventually at some point that show is going to have to move to HBO Max because that's Warner Brothers, but... And then again, apparently Warner Brothers and Discovery Plus are going to merge at some point next year.
Oh, no.
Because Warner Brothers Discovery merged, and it's like a big shit show.
There's no more big corporations merging. We don't need any more of this.
Yeah. They canceled a movie that was nearly done for tax write-off reasons. Right after the merger. It was a Batgirl movie of some kind. It was supposed to have Michael Keaton come back as Batman.
Oh, weird.
So it's like,
huh?
Annoying for multiple reasons.
Interesting.
Supposedly test groups all said the movie sucked, but I don't know what that's true. It might just be people blowing smoke. But like the movie's almost done. It was going to be HBO Max only, so just release it anyway. You don't like lose theater profits because of a bad movie.
Yeah, wow, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, huh? Okay, weird. Catwoman?
Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Alright, Spy Family. I need to watch that too. I've heard good things.
You're right, Nidair. There's about to be only 4. happy with how sad you've made yourself now?
Yeah. Yes, I am. I'm always sad. It's my secret.
Oh, God.
No, but not really. No, my secret is I'm always hungry.
Fair. But you're still hungry.
My other secret is I've barely worked on my book in like months, so
Dang.
I'm bad. And I'm sad.
That's right, Inkspell. We're cleaning up the universe. Aka. That's a lot to keep track of, I'm not gonna lie. As much of a Yu-Gi-Oh fanatic as I used to be, I don't even keep up with Yu-Gi-Oh. How the heck would I keep up with 320 anime manga? Dang, that's impressive. Dang, now I want to play Chrono Trigger.
I need to at some point, but I've decided that my next game after I'm done doing side quests and stuff in Xenoblade 3, I'm going to play Xenogears finally.
Fair.
It's like I've owned that game for a while, and I bought it because I knew one day I was going to play it, but also like I want to make sure I buy it before the price skyrockets. But I think I finally found my motivation. Because everyone who's played Xenoblade 3 mentioned there's like a lot of parallels between it and Xenogears. So it's like, well, maybe now's the time, because I'm very curious.
A lot of parallel worlds.
So I'm glad you're excited.
Xenogears is one of the older ones, right?
Yeah, it's a PS1 RPG that was apparently originally pitched as an idea for Final Fantasy VII, but it was deemed too dark and too complicated. Too complicated for Final Fantasy, huh? Too dark I could probably understand, but too complicated,
Okay. So, like, they declared that, but then made Final Fantasy X. How complicated are we talking here?
Well, Xeno games are very in-depth with... I think more so the ones before Xenoblade. Not that Xenoblade is shallow, but, like, the ones before Xenoblade, I believe, are very complicated in their deep lore and their symbolism and stuff.
Alright, early Final Fantasy simple? I guess that's kind of true, okay.
Falls off in her second half. I've heard that because, like, I think, like, the team got, like, screwed over by budgetary stuff because Square.
Oh, right, yeah, Square. Speaking of companies I hate now.
I definitely agree, Solstice. More new stuff is good, but also, like, it does seem like a weird reason to reject it as a Final Fantasy idea. What am I missing on this bench? It's like
the under and corners on that are kind of finicky. Welcome to the first map with finicky things, by the way.
First?
PS is like, oh no. What I thought before wasn't finicky. And then he'll get to the carousel.
Okay. Sinisaki, yeah, I don't own a PS2, and they knew this when they let me borrow it, but Quark let me borrow Xenosaga, so someday I'll get to play it.
Did you never have a PS2?
Nope.
Interesting, okay.
Got a PS1 and a PS4. I skipped 2 and 3.
I was very dumb as a kid. When I got my PS1, the PS2 was already out, but I wanted so badly to play Digimon or Digital Card Battle.
I guess I didn't realize that PS2 was backwards compatible, or...
I don't think I did, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I realized it. And then, when I got home, I found out, wow, you need a memory card on this system to save things.
Ah, yeah, the eternal revelation when you're used to old cartridge games saving for you.
So I couldn't save my Digimon game for like 2 weeks.
Damn. Xenosaga was meant to be 6 parts. Xenogears was meant to be like 6 parts, but then things happened. And then the team that made that game left Square and founded Monolith.
No, I didn't. No, okay.
That's not what I meant.
Can you imagine if I finally changed my stupid channel name, that those jokes would finally be dead?
Don't do it. Like I said.
Same thing happened to you with Quest 64. Yo, welcome back, Blitz.
Alright.
Quest 64, my god.
Nintendo 64 memory cards were also a bit of a revelation in of themselves.
Yeah,
What do you mean not every game will save itself?
Yeah, the one I got it for ended up being... Or no, yeah, I think it was StarCraft 64 that needed it. And then it just happened... I don't know, maybe not. That sounds too late. I don't know. Something.
I don't remember what game I ended up needing one for, honestly. Because most of the games I remember, the big ones that I loved playing, were like... They saved themselves. Maybe like Tony Hawk or something might have required one. Wait, no, I didn't own that as a kid. Confused now.
Okay.
It's because I rented games, and maybe like some of the rented games needed memory cards? I'm not sure.
Oh, that could be, yeah. Right, renting games, that used to be a thing.
For renting? I guess
That was how I got Skies of Arcadia. I rented it, and it ended up being like my favorite game ever.
Wait, no, it's not tall enough. Give me the letter. Skies of Arcadia. That was a big RPG, right?
Yeah. Although it didn't... I don't think it sold very well, but it's like a very nostalgic game.
There's a bunch of other
I don't
RPGs
think it
that
was
I like to go back
actually
and
a
play, but
very commercial success, though.
you only have so much time, yeah. I've always been interested in, I think I'm pronouncing this right, Baten Kaitos?
Oh, Baten Kaitos, yeah, that's the Evan pick.
Which is also Monolith, but not the like the same developer or not the same like director stuff. I'm pretty sure. Like I've never seen that Nintendo Power and just thinking this game looks really cool, and then just I guess I just never ended up asking for it. I feel like that's the thing. I only rarely ever got games outside of like Christmas and birthday, so I'd have to think really hard about which game I wanted. And it's probably like that was probably the same year a Metroid Prime game came out or something.
That makes sense.
That's probably...
Anyway, Aka, no, I don't think the jokes will die. It's copium.
It's probably $2 billion to buy now or something, so that's what I need to make the HD remake. Origins is too expensive. Yeah, yeah. As far as I recall, Origins... I hear a lot of people say Origins was better, but also, like, it didn't sell nearly as well. So, you know, fewer copies in the wild means insane markups on resale sites.
I don't know. I even bought Assassin's Creed Origin now.
God damn it!
You got scumbagged!
I remember, like, watching you stream a bit of that, and I was like, and thinking, this actually seems kind of cool. Maybe, like, Assassin's Creed is finding its footing again. And then immediately they started to franchise the shit out of that again, so...
It was pretty competent, yeah, but I never played any of the sequels. It's still my only Assassin's Creed game. But I liked it. It was fine.
I'd still recommend going back and trying out 2, and then, like, playing Brotherhood, and if you like those enough, play Revelations, and then don't play anything else.
I've heard 2 is good. Which one is 3? Revelations?
No, 3 is... Well, 3, because they made what they call the Ezio trilogy, which is 2, Brotherhood,
okay.
and Revelations, and then 3 is its own game with in the Revolutionary War period. Which
Gotcha.
you would think it might be interesting. It's not.
Oh, cool. Sad face.
Like, the most interesting
believe
character in the
you've done
game is not even the protagonist. Well, I mean, it's typically true in a lot of games, but I mean, like... Put it this way, you find out... Okay, so from advertising and stuff, you already know that, like... The main character of that game is a guy who's, like, the son of a I think, an American soldier and a native woman. But at the beginning, you play as his dad, and then you find out the twist that his dad's a Templar, and suddenly he's the most interesting character in the game. But then you don't play as him anymore.
Well, all right. Fun.
He's a British soldier. All right.
British. Okay.
Been a while since I played it. I kind of threw a bunch of that game out of my brain because that game made me upset. I think it's more so, well, for one thing, it's more so the way that game ended, because, like, from the beginning of 1, there's, like, this plot arc being set up, and then the very ending of 3 just throws the whole thing out the window.
I know there seemed to be an overarching thing with the technology and stuff, because Origins kind of did something with it, but then not really, so I don't know if that's just, like, at this point, if it's just fan baiting or whatever. But it seemed like there was something overarching. Like there's something going on with the technology that lets you get into the head of the character or whatever.
Yeah, the Animus.
Yeah, that's it. The anime? No.
Yes. I think, like, the big thing about 3 is, like, the Connor, that's his name, the Revolutionary War guy. It's a weird thing to call him, but his story is just kind of meh. Like, it's not nearly as interesting as, like, Ezio's story. But that's not the thing I hate about the game. The thing I hate about the game is how, like, the modern day stuff I thought was actually pretty good. But then the ending happens and it's like totally just spits in your face.
Oh,
it made me really mad. And then apparently they've never really resolved the story ever. Like, the thing that ending sets up is ignored in all the main games, and I guess gets solved off screen in like a comic or something.
What? Huh.
And then they just flounder around making random ass AC games in different settings, and it's like, ugh.
Strange. The only things you know about... I have not seen the Assassin's Creed movie. No, I didn't even think I knew there was an Assassin's Creed movie.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
Final Fantasy 15 crossover and the Cypher stuff? Jeez. Okay.
There's a Final Fantasy 15 crossover with what? Assassin's Creed?
It looks like it, according to Catabella. Mr. Bella.
This is news to me. Hey, Solstice, what do you know about this?
Man says yes.
About an alleged crossover between Final Fantasy 15 and Assassin's Creed.
There's some lore here. Activate lore mode.
Back in Origin?
It exists in universe, and you can visit a festival where everyone dresses up as Assassin's Creed characters. Oh, huh. Okay.
It's a weird crossover, but I'll allow it. Get the assassin hood for Noctis in a festival? Huh.
Interesting. Lore obtained. Rainbow says the movie is watchable if she guesses.
It's got Michael Fassbender, so it can't be terrible.
Yeah, Blitz says not as bad as most video game movies, which, to be fair, has a pretty low bar, but, you know, at least Sonic has been kind of picking it up.
Yeah. I still need to see the second one. I've heard it's better than the first.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, yeah.
Well, I know 2 people now who saw the second one and didn't like it that much, so I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
The Engine Blade was also in is the Engine Blade 15 thing? I don't know. I kind of avoided 15. I didn't like the look of 15. Say I avoided 15 like I played any Final Fantasy game outside of the SNES trilogy.
It could be worse, TS. You could have still only played 10.
Well, I've not played it 10 at all, so we're good. I don't know. No, wait, that's right. As I saw Solstice say in another chat earlier, you're the Final Fantasy X Doomer, so... I don't know. I would like to try all the... I would like to try all of the like Final Fantasy games I missed at some point, but that's like a big investment.
So many, yeah, geez.
Definitely far from your favorite. That's fair. Again, I've only played 4, 5, and 6, so what do I know?
Yeah, James always tells me I need to play 4, 6, and apparently he also really likes 9.
A lot of people like 9. The thing I keep hearing is like the battles are kind of slow, but the story and setting and stuff is really good.
Okay.
But like if you play it, like you should get like one of the modern versions, like on PC or Switch or something, because apparently there's a bunch of quality life stuff that makes it better.
Catabella says I should play 8. Oh, because it has triple triad in it. Is that what you're after, Catabella? The card game? God damn it.
Cards, yeah. No, that game is a meme. I think if I ever played 8, it would have to be like one of the last Final Fantasy games I played. I don't know
Among
if I
other
played...
things, okay.
As someone who likes Final Fantasy 4 a lot, the story in that game is bizarre and weird. It has characters in it I really like. The plot is nonsense, but I still love the game, so...
Okay. I should play 14. Alright, listen up. Everybody line up. I'm gonna get my sledgehammer. We're gonna fix this.
How in the heck do you make a slope out of concrete? It's called a mold. Had to know that ACAB included park wardens.
That's right, Rainbow. Triple H can't be Triple H. I'll be Triple H.
Triple H, which stands for Hammer, Hammer, Hammer.
Hammer, 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 DDT.
Oh no, he's stealing his gimmick. The irony is that Hammer DDT used his finisher.
You'll be the cool kid and say play Dragon Quest 4.
I need to play a Dragon
Concrete
Quest
slopes were
game.
made when Zelos cut a block diagonally. God dang it, stuff. 9 has a card game. There's a PC. Wait, okay, hang on. I'm missing a lot of crap apparently. Let's see. PC, there is the Moguri mod for Final Fantasy 9. Triple Triad's better than Tetramaster. Fight me.
I'm interested. I want to play the DQ3 remake when it comes out, because it's using the what do they call the HD 2D engine, the same thing they made Octopath with.
Huh.
So it looks really neat.
I'll at least agree that Dragon Quest 4 seems to be interesting. I have a habit of listening to Dragon Quest 4 music, even though I've never actually played the game, so at least there's that.
I've had that before. Like games where I just listen to the music even though I never played the game. I don't remember what games now, because it might be a case where all those games I ended up eventually playing, but... That's not third, that's color, okay. I got to play a bit of Triple Triad, kind of, because... So without elaborating too much, Quirk has, like, a whole-ass universe they made with tons and tons of characters, and they made their own, like, little Triple Triad game out of it, and it was kind of impressive.
Okay.
With, like, actual
like
physical
a role-play
cards.
universe, or?
Yeah, well...
Nice.
Kind of, it's like their own physical universe, but... They made, like, their own physical cards and everything, so that was neat.
Okay.
I won a single game. Lost all the others.
I was going to say, if you played Evelyn, you've also played Triple Triad, because they just outright referenced the game in that one.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Okay.
Although I guess Shovel Knight King of Cards says Joustus, which I believe is like a simplified version of Triple Triad, in a sense.
Yeah, how the heck do you simplify Triple Triad? It's like really simple. Dang, interesting. Okay.
Like, aren't there like elemental stuff in Triple Triad?
Triple Triad is
doesn't
just
have
the
elementals.
they got numbers on the 4 sides, and you're supposed to position them properly.
Yeah, it's basically Joustus.
Catabella lore drop now. Okay.
It's super grindy in the late game. Hopefully the remake fixes that.
Yeah, that's fair, Catabella. I mean, it's the same reason why something like Inscription, as much as people love it, wouldn't make for a really good actual card game because of just how busted it is. And how, like, there's clearly better versions of certain cards and things like that, yeah.
Oh my god.
That sounds like the same situation.
This fucking S symbol. Who remember... How many 90s kids are here? Who remembers drawing this
did
thing?
You find the S?
Yeah.
Yeah, you found the S, yeah.
Yep. You know 90s kids made this game. I'm not cleaning that. Okay. Here's what I think of the 90s.
Is this where I say, okay, Boomer?
Yes.
Okay. Boomer now.
I had a small laugh because Xenoblade 3 has an NPC whose name is Boomer. And he's an old man. Funnily, he doesn't really talk. He just kind of hums lines because he's a musician.
Dang, they missed a big chance for him to explain something and for someone to just say, okay, Boomer. Dang. What a shame. Like a very lowbrow comedy, but screw you, it would have been funny.
Didn't they beat the shit out of you? No.
No, not again.
Yes, again.
Let's see. Tear up 2 of your physical cards to seal up together and make a stronger card. Yes, that's right. Let's do the mycologists in real Inscription. Yeah.
I always drop a bunch of frames on this game specifically. I don't know why.
Oh, really? Huh. Like in OBS, or?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. What's your bitrate?
Like 2,500, I think.
Oh, God, yeah, I got no idea then.
Yeah, it's not very high bitrate. It's like it's the bitrate where it's watchable enough.
Fair. Hey. I'm sitting here like, all right, maybe he'll say like 5,000 and I'll have an idea for him. No, okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, no, I mostly play pixel art games, so I don't really need that high bitrate.
What? That's not true. That's impossible. The cards suss out their power progression, see the potential for more cards. The potential's really. You think so, Catabella? Okay. Well, Catabella, you know what that means. It's time for another draft, buddy. Imagine if PowerWash Simulator was a 16-bit game. Well, if you played Mario Sunshine on a really crappy TV.
Got a CRT right there. I've got 2 CRTs actually.
Oh.
It's like folks are my parents are cleaning out the upstairs apartment. It's like eventually I want to sell this entire house, but I'm just renting out the first floor, you know. But and they found that old TV. It's like, do you have any use for this? I'm like, no, but that's a CRT, and I'm not getting rid of it. So, like, I've got the one CRT ready, but, like, you know, mostly no more.
A game that's part Splatoon and part PowerWash Simulator. Alright, so if TS and I just shot the heck out of each other now.
They missed an opportunity to put a Splatoon in the same cinematic universe as Mario Sunshine.
God.
I know it's not the right way to describe a cinematic universe, but it's ironic, so it's funny.
The Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
Hey, it's coming.
Is it really?
Maybe.
No.
It's sad to say that because, like, they're making the Mario movie, but, like, apparently their intention is to experiment with, like, further properties, and I'm like, hey, here's an idea. You're a Japanese company. License it out to anime studios, make anime films instead.
Man, give me my Link's Awakening anime, you ponces.
I was about to say, give me a Studio Ghibli Zelda movie.
Yeah, fair. I would watch that. Then I can avoid more Spirited Away and tell Rainstorm that we have to.
What about Spirited Away?
He is trying to get me to watch Spirited Away, even though I'm pretty sure I saw it in the past, but for the longest time I just didn't remember it. And to be fair, I still don't remember much of it, except like the goofy pig thing, but yeah, hog, whatever.
It's a good movie. I haven't seen it
Anyway, I can either own up and watch the movie, or I can own Rainstorm, and one of these things is clearly more entertaining than the other. Oracle of Ages season double feature, yeah. I want it on, man, I want a Switch version like they did for Link's Awakening, but we might not get it until like 2025. I think we found out those came out in 2000 or 2001 or something, so I don't know.
2026? Why on earth would you want it by 2027?
Should have had channel point bets for how long it would take for Breath of the Wild to come up.
It's a different year. Hopefully next year is like just the final date, even if they move it back from, I think they said spring originally?
Okay.
Like spring 2023. Like originally what the plan was this year, but when that game comes out, you won't hear from me. I was already pretty unavailable when Xenoblade 3 came out, so you know. Breath of the Wild 2 Solstice.
I probably will stream it again, but I'm taking charge this time, Chad. It's gonna be fighting time.
Not by casually dropping the Master Sword requirements out of nowhere. DOTW, what? What's the D stand for? If it stands for what I think it stands for, I'm suing.
Dark 4 of the Wild.
Oh, Depths of the Wild. I don't think that's going to be the name. That'd be anticlimactic and stupid.
It doesn't feel like a very Nintendo thing to reuse the majority of the title. I don't know. Maybe.
Unless it's Link Between Worlds, but that's like a special.
Right. Yeah.
But then again, I guess it's like a similar. This is a similar case. Just same overall stuff with more stuff.
We did have Ocarina and Majora's Mask, and those two are clearly related now.
Okay, so I thought you were gonna say Daughter of the Wild, which was the name of the book I'm trying to write, but
TS just gets cucked at the last second by Nintendo, dude. Man.
I had that fear like ever since like the rumors started up. Well, the only rumors we had were the fucking teaser, but like with Zelda having shorter hair, like, oh, does this ever get to play as Zelda? And I'm like, oh god, what if Nintendo does that and they call the name Daughter of the Wild? I'm going to scream.
Oh man. Even I would be depressed over that, dude. That would suck.
Dude, that's the perfect name, and I'm not changing it. Why do I keep getting, like, stuck here in this step? That's weird.
It's a mental obstacle, TS. You being trapped there means you're trapped in your own head, and you have to find your true inner happiness.
My thoughts are comprised of stairs?
Yes. Spiral stairs. Made of wood for some reason.
Don't I have a quote for this? Hang on. What my inner thoughts are comprised of. Maybe, maybe not.
We go into TS's inner thoughts and it's just repeated canned flip sounds.
Maybe it's not my quote bomb. I swear I had a quote or something like my inner thoughts are comprised of low budget special effects or something like that.
No. Wait a minute. Now that I'm in a call with you and not in chat, I can talk crap to the QLEX about all I want now.
Oh no. What part of these steps are not this? Is this part of the step? Okay, yeah. That's why I'm trying to
circus. Okay. Yeah, we don't have any suggestions for movie night yet. So that means it's time to rewatch Digimon Last Evolution now. Princess Bride, GoldenEye, and Digimon.
Princess Bride, that's a movie.
That is a freaking movie. There's people in this community who still haven't seen this freaking movie.
Oh, now I'm gonna be forced to see it.
Right, that's right they are. I had to show Gina last year. But I think there's still a couple, was it Rainbow? Rainbow is this year doing? It sounds like this might be Rainbow. Kate and her friends were getting me to go through all their bad movies and stuff. That's when we watched The Room.
I still need to watch that, honestly.
And I actually died on the inside. I'm a ghost now.
Hi, doggy.
Stardust? Look, Catabella. Yusei gave me enough Stardust to last me a lifetime. Okay, I don't need that.
What? Cody Rhodes?
Oh, I'm quitting forever.
I only somewhat apologize. What is on the card tonight for AEW?
Jericho Moxley? Is that up?
Is that tonight? So holy shit.
Possibly, Inkspell. I do it a lot. I mean, it's not exactly a rare laugh. Whoa. Yo, what's up, Balance? How you doing today? Your week is going better?
I don't know how I keep getting tab and R mixed up.
Dang.
I want to rotate my nozzle away and end up looking at the gram instead.
Have a storm brewing outside. Oh, you might be near where Aka is then. God, the Mark Hamill Joker laugh, dang.
Heck of a filthy sidecar if it can fit us in. I feel like being like a car wash in real life might be fun, but also there will be a lot of expenses in regards to like equipment and water. So
yeah,
I do wonder what the paycheck balance ends up being at the end of all that.
Well, you're looking at it in the top right corner now.
And I wish I made the much of washing stuff.
of the East Coast and in Tennessee, yeah, those are like right next door now.
I mean, kind of.
All you have to do is change the scale.
Depends what state East Coast is, but which East Coast state? Which East Coast state? I mean, though.
Ohio, no.
Yes. No, that's the Erie Coast. Sometimes the song comes up on this, and I'm like, this sounds familiar. Then look at the song name, I'm like, I've never heard this song before in my life.
Bio, god dang it, rainstorm.
Oh, it took me a second, because I was reading it as Obio. What?
Yeah, I know. I was like, what is he going for here? Then I like finally got it. It's the bees, Rainbow's favorite.
Bees? It's my
Although to be
favorite too.
fair, if they added bees to this game, Rainbow could at least just blast them away.
Bee traps and PowerWash Simulator. when is PowerWash Simulator coming to Archipelago?
Man,
That
would be something, honestly.
Imagine like every individual piece you had to clean into being a check.
Yeah.
Like you clear it, it sends an item to somebody. That'd be wild. But what would PowerWash get though? Like, what would people send to you? Money? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because it would almost have to be like on a new file or something. Jeez.
Equipment
That'd be pretty
would
good,
be interesting.
You got $1 in the big key chest.
It's essentially like nozzles and shit. That might be neat. But
Yeah.
there's only so many of those, I guess. Well, then again, I haven't unlocked all the advanced ones, so I don't know for sure. No self-respecting skateboard would ever skate in a watermelon bowl. No. This fucking parkour. Like, how do they make concrete slopes? Have you never driven on a road ever? Whew, this is a lot. But I'm here for it.
Man, with the better gun, what did we do this on NSD, chat? We did this in like 2 hours, or a little under 2 hours with the good gun while I was eating and stuff.
2 hours with the good gun, okay.
Yeah. We've got 2 people here. I think we're about an hour in. We've got 45%, 46%. This map is a mess on single player.
Good.
They definitely want you to work for that. I think this is where it's like, not like a difficulty curve map, but it's like, this is the map where they start upping the ante. The skate park.
The skate park. I think... Hang on, let me see. How much is the damn thing? Yeah. After this map, I'll have enough stars to buy the heavy-duty washer, but not enough money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the longer is better for chat stream. That's when I told TS, like, when I thought I was going to have my upgraded gun, I was like, I'll totally downgrade this gun just so we waste more time on these maps.
Shit, I'm gonna buy some more soaps.
Why are the places even this dirty in the first place? What's the lore here? The lore is humanity.
True. There. Not that much. Yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know what my lore was for the playground.
Spoilers allowed. What do you mean? Spoilers for what? But yeah, the maps, I don't think it's doing it in co-op. I don't know if TS has been getting pop-ups, but every 20% you're supposed to get like some kind of lore drop.
Oh yeah, I do see those. Like the like the text and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't get them because I think I've already seen them, but or I think that's at least why they're not showing them to me. But yeah, something about a volcano. Can we see this freaking volcano from here? No, it doesn't look like it. Because man, I can't remember how much of the last map you saw at DS, but there's some wacky crap going on in this game.
Yeah. like a park warden who sucks. But beyond that, yeah.
Also, hey, Archaea. Volcano with laser show and jets. Yeah, that would about cover it. Hey, Ashling, how are you doing as well? You watched the Splatoon 3 Direct earlier and saw it has a card game spin-off. Oh, baby. Is this how they finally get me? What the heck would you do with a Splatoon card game? Interesting.
Use them as weapons to throw and kill people. That's Gambit, actually.
Beyblade.
For Beyblade?
What a rip. You know what else I remember from that era is Metabots.
I fucking love Metabots.
Metabots was pretty cool, not gonna lie.
I had a bunch of those little toys where you get to change the parts. I watched the show all the time.
Oh, nice.
It was a great show. And I watched it again, like, I want to say like 8 years ago at this point, and I still liked it. I would watch it again.
Metabots has a tabletop RPG. Wow. Okay.
Really? Dungeons and robots.
Let's see. The card game has a big grid, and you use cards to fill in squares on it. Oh, Catabella. What's that one card game you were showing me with the grid where cards did different damage based on their position on the grid? I wonder if it's like that one. You want a Gundam tabletop RPG? Fair. It feels like one of the places it would fit. Transformers might not be bad either for that. PS in disguise. Triple triad. No, cannibal! Let's see, there's like a bomb card that did 20 damage in the middle square, but as you got progressively further out, it did like way less. I swear, I don't know. There, okay, that was enough to trigger it, alright. Sorcery TCG, okay. One of those is similar. Alright, Aisling had a bust of an appointment. No record of her or the appointment.
What?
Then you got your haircut. Dang.
Dang.
What's going on? Gina said she's been having problems with these things too, where she's supposed to visit her doctor and they're like canceling on her. And then apparently when she does go in, the nurse yells at her for being at a 12:30 appointment at 12:30 instead of 12:20.
Alright.
Weird energy on these doctors and nurses lately, dude.
Like, I know it's a good idea to come early, but like...
Yeah. Yeah, you don't yell at your... I don't know why... I don't know. Goofy people. Also, yeah, Akka over here. I thought we talked about the Final Fantasy TCG in the past. I remember you checking it out once or twice, but now she's going to commit to it. It's time for collection.
Send me all of your radio cards. I mean, what?
Oh, you know what? Maybe we talked about Fire Emblem instead. Maybe we talked about the Fire Emblem card game. I guess we'll just tear up these unneeded Lucina cards.
How dare you? I've got one actually somewhere.
Oh, interesting.
It has actually quirks in it, but it's in one of these drawers. Hey, I found a random ass Bionicle card.
Bionicle, dang.
Wait, no,
now that's diving into the nostalgia. Holy crap.
That is a deep dive. Hey, it's my Ancient Mew, the most valuable card in existence.
Oh man.
Where is this card at? I'm just sitting here spraying things. I hit a Spider-Man Topps card. All right. I can't find this card. It's in this drawer somewhere. You have to believe me. Is it this drawer? No. I give up. I've got a Lucina card somewhere.
Frozen Lemonade. There's some short discussions on the Final Fantasy before, yeah. I'm gonna guess that's what it was. Ashling also deserves a frozen lemonade.
Apparently that's a thing in Rhode Island, by the way.
Wait, what's up?
Frozen lemonade's apparently a thing in Rhode Island.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's fantastic.
We didn't actually get to try it, but
Oh, go back over there. No.
one day, but like, I'm not really a lemonade person though, so I was like,
Oh, okay, that's understandable then.
That's okay, we got Rhode Island clam chowder. Which is basically similar to New England clam chowder with a clear broth instead of creamy.
Everybody's taking the frozen lemonade. Good. Everybody drink up. It's the best frozen lemonade.
What if frozen lemonade when you have Baja Blast?
Yes, this is an intervention.
No. Don't send help, send more. I missed this side completely, alright.
It's like every TCG discussion in this community. Don't send help, send more.
Sending help is sending more, there you go. That's the spirit.
Send an Ecto Cooler, dang.
Never actually had Ecto Cooler.
I can't remember if I ever tried it. I want to say no, though.
That's like a high C flavor, right? Or is it its own thing?
I believe so, maybe. I feel like this is the second time this has come up in recent memory, too. I wish I could remember better.
The problem is I feel like I've outgrown high C.
Oh, God.
Like, I don't mean, like, literally. Like, you can only be a child to drink it, but it's like, I don't know. It's just like...
It's literal now.
Life food.
Send the link.
Why is it so finicky? Let me pick up. There we go. Got it.
It's too late, Rainstorm. You botched it. It's over. You're going on Botchamania.
It's my favorite show. Oh yeah, has there been any noticeable difference in WWE quality since, you know who bounced?
Yeah, SummerSlam was very good, and a bunch of the NXT guys are coming back and getting pushes. So the locker room seems very happy.
But did you watch Dynamite last week?
No. I'm bad.
I forget the exact line, but the Acclaimed, when they came out, they dropped a retired, like, Vince McMahon reference in the rap, and it was just phenomenal.
Good. You know what I loved, even though it was like, it got him heat, was Tony Khan tweeting after Vince dropped out that he was now the longest tenured CEO in wrestling or whatever.
Is that even accurate?
I believe it is in the West. But man, the WWE fans were so mad at him, dude.
Imagine dying on the Vince McMahon hill.
Yeah.
That man has been problematic even before all this shit came out.
Tribalism is a bad thing, everybody. Friendly reminder.
Yeah, I like AEW because it's good. If it stops being good, I'm not gonna like it anymore. If WWE starts being good, I might start watching that.
Yeah.
Hey, Rainbow found the video yet? That one.
Oh, good. Yeah, sure, Rainbow. Oh, that's the thing you posted in wrestling then? Okay, yeah, I'll have to check it out then.
Hopefully, Rainstorm.
Land.
Ian Duffy, Reaper. That's not what I said.
Made life mistakes and I've been doing the floor. Oh god.
Sometimes I do the floor just so I can see other things better.
Yeah.
Like the playground, I did that.
Oh, the playground and floor was really fun.
At least it had like the individual sections, yeah.
Speaking of things that captured 90s nostalgia in this game, that freaking park, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was gonna like mention this earlier. Like, I often think about the whole nostalgia thing. Like, if you're nostalgic for an older era, there's like people who are like say that I'm nostalgic about like the '60s or whatever, and oftentimes these people are like bigots.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think about like the '90s weren't exactly great in terms of like social issues and stuff, but.
Yeah, there are some tropes from the 90s that are absolutely despicable, like treatment of girl characters in shows and things like that, but...
Animaniacs carries some 90s baggage. It's a good show,
Very
but
fair, yeah.
some of it's like, ooh, that didn't age well. But like... I tend to like treat the term nostalgic for an era a little more loosely, like, you know, I'm nostalgic for this period because that's when I was a kid and times were simpler, but I'm not nostalgic for the problematic aspects.
Yeah.
Like, and the like aesthetics too. Like I'm nostalgic for like '90s aesthetics, '80s aesthetics, that kind of thing.
That's understandable. Yeah. Yeah, like when these guys showed me 80s synthwave music for the first time a couple years ago, and I was like, holy crap, this entire genre is so good.
Well, that's where I've been lately. It's like I love synthwave stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm always, I don't know, I like to be a little more optimistic, so I assume when people are nostalgic for an era, they're nostalgic for the positive aspects about it, and not like, I loved the 90s because girl characters got crapped all over, and it was really sexualized and stuff. Like, I like to think people don't think that way. But, I don't know, like I said, a little too much optimism sometimes.
Yeah, it depends. Like, yeah. I think a lot of it too is like I have like several trans friends, or like I'm not nostalgic for that era because that was like a traumatic era for me. It's like I definitely get that.
Right, yeah. Oh, everyone's always going to have a different viewing window for those sorts of things. There are some people who would never want to return to the 90s because that's like, you know, that's when they weren't themselves, essentially.
Mm-hmm. It's not even just trans people. It's like there's some people who just had shitty childhoods too, which sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like in a mixed boat too. Is like I'm not like happy with a bunch of my upbringing as a child, but I still miss the era and stuff because there was things about it I still love. It's like it's mixed bag.
Right. Let's see, Odin's Sphere. They're bringing up in mind to say that it's a good game, but very sexist. Okay.
Final Fantasy IV. Pretty sexist. It's so weird because like there's this scene where they're getting ready to go to like do the final leg of the journey, go fight the big bad, and the party team at this point is like 3 men and two women, and right before like it starts, the main character's like, "All right, you girls, you have to leave because we have to do this and we don't want you getting hurt." And it's like, motherfucker, one of them is the greatest summoner in the land, and the other is the greatest healer in the land. You are dead without them.
Ah, dang, that's pretty bad, yeah.
And obviously they don't. Obviously they stay. They don't listen to him, but they pretend to listen to him, but they stow away and be like, "Hey, by the way, no, you're stupid. We're coming."
Yeah. It's weird when writers use that as a way to show that a character's a dick or something. Like, if that's really what you want to convey, fine, as long as you're willing the character to be under fire for that reason later, but it also feels like you could have just picked a different way for the character to be a dick.
I think it's more of a warped version of chivalry. At least in this instance. I mean,
That could be, yeah. I do like the slight subversions, though, where there's clearly these, like, pervy comments or moments, but the girl is a strong enough character that she just, like, whips their ass afterwards or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's like, alright.
Because Vanguard, I've been rewatching the reboot of Vanguard. The reboot's from 2018, but Vanguard itself was like an early 2000s anime, so it still kind of had that vibe to it. Mm-hmm. But, man, in the reboot, it's like anytime someone cracks a joke to one of the lead girl characters or whatever, they basically just get their backside handed to them, like, almost immediately. There's no chill. They don't let them get away with it or anything, so it's at least like they try to show that even if these comments are goofy and unnecessary, someone does something about them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's always just a case of where when I look at my own writings, I feel like I wouldn't need this to convey that a girl character is strong, that she stands up for sexist comments or whatever. There's like 1,000 other ways you could build a character to be strong.
Yeah, there's a different approach to everything, yeah. I think it's like in Vanguard, like you're talking about. I think it works there because like you're kind of like actively addressing something that happened before, and now you're showing this won't fly anymore.
Yeah.
Like, hey, remember we used to do this? Haha, that wasn't funny. We're gonna fix it.
Right. Yeah. I did get the vibe that's kind of what they were trying to do. They the gimmick to like TLDR the gimmick. They can imagine themselves as the cards, basically. And when the one girl is given a deck by the store manager, and it's a bunch of girl cards that have really skimpy clothing, a couple of the characters imagine her wearing the skimpy clothing, and like, in the middle of their thought process, the girl just does this roundhouse kick and sends them into the wall. And then it's never brought up again. They don't repeat the joke 1,000 times throughout the series. That's the one instance of the joke.
That's good. Yeah, sounds good. See, yeah, you can also run that kind of thing into the wall as well. And like, it's one thing if like your whole point is like to be like. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm going to try to say there. But like, yeah, and then, you know, you just like address it and don't turn it into a joke, because at that point you just kind of defeating the point.
Yeah, it is a slice of life too, so it can address those things more easily. You're right. Yeah.
Who's slicing my
man,
life?
There was that one scene, and I already told Chad about this one mostly, but it was like the most weird scene that it caught me completely off guard. That when the Notice Me Senpai archetype girl thinks that another girl is getting her senpai's attention, she just walks up and calls her a hussy. And I'm like, Never in my life would I have imagined hearing the word hussy in a 2018 anime. It just feels like words like that are so far gone. But again, it was a thing where they addressed it, they did it one time, and it never came up again. I was just like, what the heck? Like, it just literally was out of the blue. I never would have expected this word.
Yeah. Slice of life. I'm not the biggest slice of life person. There's some that are fine, but most of the time it's like, no, there's not a lot going on. I think it needs to be like a good gimmick.
Yeah, I like it in the sense that you don't have to overkill the stakes in every anime, basically. But yeah, then if it's slow and there's nothing going on, it's kind of hard to want to follow it.
That's why Ichijo's the best one. Because it's just off the wall, batshit insane all the way through, and it's incredible.
Also the thing where it's like you kind of mix and match genres. Like there's a large part of Steins Gate that's just them derping around in their day-to-day lives or whatever. But the stakes are clearly not like slice of life themselves, you know?
Yeah. Like I would not consider Steins Gate to be slice of life. Yeah. You only overkill with stakes if you face Dracula. Now you just need a whip. You're good.
They're having fun in their apartment, but hey, the multiverse is in trouble. Yeah, you know.
Does that washer of yours work on hedges? Okay, what a question. Second one.
Whip it. Whip it.
Whip it good. Yeah, that song is the kind of stupid that I appreciate. Crack that whip.
Licorice whip.
Licorice pizza?
Oh, ruined forever.
It's the name of a movie. I don't even know what that's about. Hopefully not about actual licorice pizza, because...
Always just one of those weird titles, like I Dream of Electric Sheep or whatever Total Recall ended up being, you know.
Android's Dream of Electric Sheep. That's weird. Nobody dreams of sheep. You just count them.
Ah, rude. The sheep.
Yes.
More of an action person, Rainbow, like that action.
I guess the slice of life is also a comedy. It might be fun in some cases.
Yeah.
If the jokes and characters are done well.
Alright, now let's talk about how Danganronpa is technically slice of life now.
Well, they're slicing, that's for sure. I think maybe one day I'll play those, but still the only thing is to know about them or absorbed through cultural osmosis. Although every time a Danganronpa conversation comes up in any Discord I'm in, half of the messages are spoiler tagged.
Yeah,
which I guess considered the nature of the thing, it kind of has to be.
Yeah, it's super hard to talk about that game without, or the series without spoilers.
Like every now and then, like somebody will post like, "Here's my tier list of every Danganronpa character," and then all the responses are spoiler tagged. If anything, I'm amused by it, but
Yeah.
obviously I can't participate. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to playing Xenoblade 3.
Alright, everybody spam Nagito and Kokichi emotes. It's time now. Oh, you.
Is the number 53 a spoiler?
Yes.
Oh god. At least not 54, I would have to sue.
Great. They stopped just in time.
They knew.
And then they apparently went gung-ho on streamers. Streamers are no longer supposed to be streaming beyond Chapter 1 of those games.
That's so weird.
To the degree that the console versions have an auto-disable feed thing on them if you try to do it.
How do they enforce that? Like, I know PS4 has like shit like that, which is weird, but I don't think Switch did or anything.
Yeah, what were you streaming it on, Rainbow? Switch or PS4? I don't remember what version you had. Oh, maybe PS4, because I remember the...
Yeah, PS4 has that shit. Joke's on them. I'm going to point my webcam at my TV.
Yeah, really, there's ways around it. I guess they're just trying to discourage you from getting creative. Maybe you'll give up before that or something, I don't know.
It will detect if your webcam is picking up Danganronpa footage and blow it up.
Yeah. Every time you play this game, a rep will come to your house.
Can you imagine? So, who are you? I'm the Danganronpa rep. I'm here to supervise.
Yeah. And then just to make things even greater, they ask you to sign a waiver. A good sign of any business transaction. Will you sign this waiver?
What's on it? Your death. No.
It's just a piece of paper that says you're dead in big bold letters.
On second thought, I think I don't want to play this game anymore.
Every copy comes with a Monokuma plushie that will murder you if you try streaming it.
You know
the
what?
Monokuma doll activates and says it's punishment time.
You know what? This seems agreeable. This is not the worst outcome. I think I need this bad boy right here. One day. There.
Oh no. Phantom ladders.
On this side. Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Ladder. Keep getting, like, picking up things and moving them resets your camera option for some reason. It's weird.
Oh, huh. Okay.
So when you playing Mario Odyssey on stream?
Oh, I was gonna do it at 3 p.m. today, but I was told to do something now. Okay.
Damn it! That's a game I kind of want to stream sometime, even though I've beaten it already. It'd be a fun, chill stream game. Damn it.
Splash fight.
It's a good thing we're wearing outfits, or we both be dead.
Yeah.
Good thing we're wearing outfits. Well, you know what I meant.
What, you don't power wash in the nude?
Well, if it was allowed, I mean, what? Alright, we have arched. Well, of course. Power washing other people is tantamount to murder.
No. Okay.
Yes.
But you're only convincing me more now.
Well, good. That was the intent. Okay.
Plot twist.
I'm sure it'll happen, Rainbow. There's already Power Wash knockoff games on Steam, so...
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I think we saw one recently, too.
Yeah, I think I saw it because... I don't remember why I saw it. But I still remember, I think I linked it to you, and I was like, well, it begins. The Power Wash
Oh, yeah.
knockoff...
Yeah, that was where I saw it, yeah. It was you.
The Power Wash knockoff genre is upon us.
I wonder at what point people will realize this doesn't work, and hasn't worked, and will continue to not work.
I would like to hope that some people realize that people would buy just for like the irony purchase and they can make a quick buck that way, but I don't know.
They still have to make the darn thing, I don't know.
Oh, they make it cheaply. How many porn games are new and trending today?
Oh, God.
Not gonna lie, there are times I thought, like, I would love to set up an alternate streaming account on some other website just so I can go through cheap Steam porn games and laugh at them.
Gee. Alright, hard mode rainstorm. Disable RPG Maker searches.
Well, it is hard mode. Where's that damn last wall?
That damn fourth emerald wall.
Start spraying random things till you get a marker.
It's over here somewhere. I just saw it.
I need my dirt radar. Oh.
Activate harpoon. Found it.
Yep, it's this. There we go.
Okay.
Nice.
The answer's to a neither RPG Maker, my god.
Nice. Oh no, we can skate again and make everything dirty.
Yeah. Just immediately go back to ruining it. Whew, my sick flips.
Muckingham Skate Park has been chosen to host the next county championships. Nice.
What is this ladder balancing on? Oh. I guess it was just like slightly off on my screen. Okay.
Yeah, we've got the shoe house, we got the motorbike and sidecar. I think I got time for one more. What do you think?
Alright, fire it off. While I fire you!
How bad is the shoe house?
Sorry, one more time.
How bad is the shoe house?
I don't remember it being too bad until you're doing the top part.
Well, then let's do it. Let's see. As nice as this is having our play school in the forest, it does leave it open to the elements, and the poor thing's now so mucky it's starting to rub off on the children. Oh boy, again, huh? In the old days, we'd fill a few buckets and the children would do it themselves, top to bottom. Wow, child labor.
Yeah.
Such fun, and most of them came to no harm. Nowadays, they're not even allowed on the roof, never mind down the guttering, before the parents get all angsty. And those goddamn millennials. If you could please come and give it a good wash down, that'd be just wonderful.
That's the Gen X parents that are at fault. They are Gen X parents or the bridezillas.
Oh, sick.
Oh yeah, you get to do this thing on the far left too if you check this thing out.
Oh.
You get to just move that, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. You can just put that wherever the heck you want and rotate it and everything. It's like an amazing object.
Behold my strength. What's this song?
Steam knows you better than you know yourself, Rainstorm.
Alright, I made it to the roof.
Okay.
I'm going in, I'm going to Spider-Verse leap of faith.
I don't know. Find out. Stand on it.
We're good. I made it.
Okay. At some point, stand on it. We'll see what happens when I move it with you on it. See if it even lets me pick it up.
This is a Mega Man X song. What's it called? Dawn of Reckoning.
I saw it turn red when he turned on it. If it turns red when he's on it, it means I can't move it.
Why not? That's not fun. Okay. Me hanging on like, stop fucking moving around.
Knock it off, Fox.
What am I stuck on? There we go.
Alright, TS, are you down for the stream where we're only allowed to speak in Star Fox 64 quotes?
Instead of speaking Star Fox, SNES gibberish.
That's right, that's easy mode. Hard mode, it's gotta be dialogue.
I guess I should be thankful.
Atta girl, Rainbow. Get him. Get him with stabbing.
Destroy what? He's crazy.
Let me handle this.
God damn it, slipping! Ooh, Metroid.
Look at you, piece of trash. That's an actual quote right now.
Yes. It was in the reviews? No. I think I met this one. Okay, that's why. Alright, jump back onto this. Oh, I see. I see what the problem is with this roof. You've got a stinky butt. Thank you, Martha.
What?
That's one of the text pop-ups in this game.
Oh.
Martha Hubbard, you've got a stinky butt.
Oh, that's your daughter, I think.
Martha Hubbard.
You must save her, my daughter.
Thanks, King. I will.
King, I'm gonna hang out on the intro island and then just kind of screw off.
He's got regrets. His soul can only be put to rest once you agree to save Zelda. I don't know.
Just casually hanging out, having a life and a house to maintain and everything. Oh, thank God Link's here. I can just go. Screw all this.
Long
He doesn't want
100
to do
years.
yard work anymore.
Understandable, really? You do yard work for 100 years, you might also get tired of it.
I'm doing yard work for 20 years and I'm tired of it. Cannot allow you to go any further.
Why not?
Hey, Morrow Gamer, how you doing today? Oh, yeah. We're moving the thing, or get on it.
Good.
Yeah, when he's on it, I can't move it.
Ah. I don't know why that made me chuckle. I'm glad that this seems to work very well from a distance, considering what this shop is.
Yeah. It's just a phenomenal thing. Oh, did you end up buying the new gun? No.
Not yet. I don't have the, I should have the money after this job, but
Okay.
I might redo some other jobs later so I can, like, just buy a bunch of shit.
Fair. The backyard is honestly pretty nice when you have bigger guns, so...
I want a yogurt tube. Get your own, Martha! What was this lore that we had a kid who was hiding until now?
I think they're mentioned early on, but I like I said, I did a very bad job following the lore. And suddenly there's volcanoes and other weird crap going on. I thought it was a story about them looking for the mayor's cat, and it just, like, it kept blowing up into other things.
Yeah, I remember the cat thing. Ooh, Mega Man.
The cat in the hat.
This person requested a Mega Man 6 song and didn't even pick one of the best songs. Go figure. Yeah, you can do requests on this thing too, but...
Nice. Not nice, no. There we go. The cat in the hat. Oh, they made me watch that too, The Cat in the Hat, the live action one.
I was just about to say, I've never seen that, and I never want to.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah? Why would that be, Nuck?
There are some problems with these characters.
Is that the Arab? No, it wouldn't have been. That was Michael Myers, right?
Yeah.
His career revival after Shrek or whatever. I don't know if it counts as a revival, because like his career was big because of Austin Powers, but you know.
That movie was bad enough that making more live-action Dr. Seuss movies is banned. Is that really the case? That's hilarious.
I am glad.
That's amazing trivia.
Wouldn't surprise me, because like, you know, the Tolkien estate did not like the Hobbit movies, and so they refuse to give their film rights to the Silmarillion out and the other Tolkien works.
Okay. they won't let people use the IP. That is wonderful. Good for them. EBH.
That still annoys me about what happened with the Hobbit movies, because, like, it was not going to be a trilogy, but then Warner Brothers said, give us a trilogy, and then... The thing I always say is, imagine telling Peter Jackson how to make a Lord of the Rings movie.
Imagine telling George Lucas how to... Oh. No.
I mean, yes. No.
We all know we had to go there. TS is in the call. It's easy pickings.
Let's be real here. George Lucas hadn't sold the franchise and made his own sequel trilogy. People would have hated it. So.
Yeah. The worst Star Wars fans are Star Wars fans, as we have found out.
These same people who were like, the George Lucas movies in the old expanded universe were better, did not realize that George Lucas's movies would have overwrote that expanded universe. So it's like, eat shit.
Okay, but what if we harass more child actors for literally no reason?
Oh, they started, I swear to God. Oh, we found a mucky old thing in our garage. Let us know when you're free to come over and give it a wash. Never. I'm tiring. I'm going poop. Thank you, Martha. Who gave this child a phone?
I wouldn't be surprised if the commentary here by the creators is stop giving your kids access to social media at such a young age.
I done it. Good job. Congratulations. I'm so fucking proud.
By the way, Chad, stop giving your freaking kids phones and social media at such a young age now.
Dota War Hobbit probably would have been really good, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so the story I heard was that, like, what's it? Was it Evangeline Lilly who played Torio? I heard that something like she signed on, like, under the assumption that they weren't going to put her character in, like, a love triangle, and then Jackson assured her it wasn't going to be the case, and then Warner Brothers was like, hey, by the way, we want a love triangle, so Jackson had to, like, be like, I'm so sorry, Warner Brothers is bad.
Oh, man. Gross.
Again, I say, imagine telling Peter Jackson how to make a Lord of the Rings movie. The guy who made one of the most successful and beloved trilogies of all time. Like, again, yeah.
I'm not sure at what point these corporations admit they just want to write fan fiction and basically are trying to use their money and stroke to do so.
Related note, imagine being Netflix and telling the Avatar creators how to make a live-action show.
Oh, baby. Did this actually happen?
Apparently, like, so they were making a live-action adaptation, and the original creators were on board, but apparently Netflix had other ideas what they wanted to do with the show, so the creators were like, have fun, goodbye. And now they started their own studio, their own animation studio, now they're doing their own animated stuff. New animated films are coming out in the next couple of years.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, that's the Avatar we're going to watch. We're going to ignore Netflix. pressure from other actors and get them invites to the premieres. Damn! Ugh. I hate Warner Brothers.
Jesus.
Like, well, not I guess a corporation I love, but Warner Brothers, like, especially egregious, I feel like, lately.
They're not exactly in top graces in my head.
There are things about the Hobbit movies I like, but mostly I don't like them. What dirt am I missing here?
So is that going on the movie night list, Rainstorm? The Hobbitses? No. No Hobbitses? No Hobbitses?
No, they're not taking the Hobbits at Isengard, so it's bad. There's a spot. It was not enough spot. What's with this picky banister? What do you want from me? There.
It wants you to read another Martha text now.
Well, she's rounded.
It's just...
I still haven't seen the extended Lord of the Rings. Need to. Just the, like, the regular theatrical cuts.
I still haven't seen past the first one, so I probably should pick this up. And I only saw the first one because our art teacher randomly showed it to us in class.
You have a 3-hour class?
No, we just watched it over several sessions back in the day.
I figured, but like...
JK, he kidnapped us and made us watch it out.
Well, there are worse things you do to kidnap students.
God. Alright, that's the end of that one.
So it's definitely violate the 2.5 hour rule. I mean, it's only 30 minutes. Okay. Well, I mean, if we're talking about theatrical cuts, obviously the extended cuts are much longer. It's like I need to find the time to set aside to watch those extended cuts, and it's like hard to find that time, but also I ended up watching the 4-hour cut of Justice League, so what's my excuse?
Oh.
I didn't hate that cut, actually, but... So that was pretty decent, but it's not one of the greatest comic movies of all time, and it certainly didn't deserve that... Oh, Martha, what are you saying? I'm so sorry about all that. Charlie found my phone. Okay, there we go. So it was not a daughter named Martha, it's the client's kid.
I think we need to take a step back now.
Let me take a step back.
Lord of the Rings movie night. Oh, God.
Like, Lord of the Rings movie month.
Yeah. I remember Kate's friend, Rachel, convinced her to go do a trilogy watch in one sitting, and I'm just like, goodbye,
No?
Kate, I will miss you.
No? I will admit, during the drive to Rhode Island, I was very tempted to be like, what if I just put, like, the Lord of the Rings movies on as a background noise while I drive, but I settled on music albums instead, which was probably smarter.
That's why when they were like, we're gonna watch Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 in one sitting, I'm just like, there's no way, dude.
That seems more
no
manageable, but also no. What am I missing on these balls, so to speak? I guess this is Memorial Land. Okay.
Eric was nowhere.
Wah.
Wah.
I thought something was up there. Cause like I didn't look too closely at the client's name. Like I thought for a second that was the client's name, Martha. And I got myself convinced otherwise. Here, remember Charlie the Unicorn?
No.
Remember Charlie's Angels? No.
Oh man, it's been ages since I've heard anything about those.
Shoelace cleaned. What's he doing here?
Oh. Where he is lately. I know he's wrestling now, but
Yeah,
I remember if he said he was going to show up more.
anytime I see him upload something, it's always like some like wrestling promo. It's cool. I'm happy for him, really.
Yeah, I think the last time he stopped by, he said that he wants to keep playing a heel, but they keep making him play babyface.
He would be a great heel, honestly.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he'd be great either, but yeah, especially heel, I think, because he's got like, you know, his goofy ass characters would that kind of style would
goofy
translate.
characters would be the good faces, yeah, but he also does love role playing the heel. Can't believe someone in this community would like to roleplay the heel. That sounds ridiculous. Who would possibly do that all the time?
He needs to make Freddie Firestone a wrestler.
Yeah.
Him losing a match and lying there on the mat. I'm Freddie Firestone. Sick.
Won't you go crossing the streams, none, ya laddie?
It's too late.
No, we're cheating.
Noted. What's left?
Okay, there we go.
Walls, window box. What window box? This one. And a wooden trim somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Some of those could probably be early.
Alright.
Lapel boots from Dora the Explorer. Okay, yeah, a little bit early.
Which, it would be easy to find a blue wall. Just keep pointing until you see the mark. I don't think it's any of these. Oh wait, no, this one, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay, wooden trim. Good thing there's only... Oh, it's this one.
Oh, good.
Here we go.
Just trying to shoot it from over here.
It's the inner trench on the top.
Nice.
There we go. Hooray! Also, did you see the gnome?
The gnome! Must be shit gnome.
The gnome likes to make reappearances throughout the game.
This is Left 4 Dead 2. Oh no.
And he can clone himself.
Oh no! No one's gonna hear it. What? I totally forgot. This was in. There's an 8-bit thriller, and it's in the thing.
Oh, fantastic.
Good. Whoa.
I wonder if that was the one that was in Rise of Ganon. I recently rewatched the Rise of Ganon playthrough, and that had Thriller in it.
If it's by Jake Kaufman, then maybe.
Offshoot brew.
Thank you so much for helping Ain't You with Sugar and more of a salt. Nice days having replaced school in the forest. It does leave it open to dealing with. Wait a minute. No, wait, that's the thing I read it for. Right. Well. Want to clean a motorbike and sidecar and call it a stream?
Okay, sure.
Let's do it. You may have seen the pics of my hubby and I becoming the first sidecar to complete the 24-hour Great Plains Challenge. Everyone thought the tracks were just too bumpy and 24 hours in the seat too restrictive. It was no problem at all. When I got uncomfortable, I just took my hands off the throttle for a second and gave them a shake. Sounds dangerous. Brutal 5-hour river section sure took a lot. Took it out of the sidecar, though. Can you clean it up? By the way, Bobby wondered if you knew any chiropractors.
Bobby.
Don't ask me. Damn it, Bobby!
Bobby. I don't know if we're coming back later, Rainstorm. I guess I'll ask Dark for if he feels like doing anything tonight, but maybe.
Later, Rainstorm.
Have fun, though, getting circused.
Yeah, I guess I might buy the heavy-duty ones after this.
Ooh, good. Okay, Rainstorm said he never wants to see TS ever again now. Okay.
Good. I mean, good seeing y'all too.
I don't know, chat. Let me know what you would watch after this. I guess I could boot up an OOT after dinner or something, but I don't know. I might not have any partners for it.
Midgard. What's the Midgard? Don't give me a noise technology answer.
TS is ready to do Master Quest only entrance rando now. Okay. Oh god, the amount of finicky things on this one, it's all coming back. It's all coming back to me, chat.
Yeah, it was the other bike earlier was like somewhat finicky too. So I just kept like spraying inside the engine, just hoping something worked.
We'll get home until 11? Jeez, it's like 1 a.m. for me. Okay, yeah, so Dark 4 is definitely dead on weekdays now. What was the stuff? The stuff will play Ocarina of Time with me now. Okay.
Alright, Steph.
He said he can't wait to read fanfiction with us in 30 minutes now. Okay.
I'm scared. There's like something underneath this, I swear. I was like... What's that?
Yeah, this one just has a ton of small objects here.
Mudguard, not
There
Midgard.
we go.
Okay, spoke set, windshield. Okay, windshield's easy. There,
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
No. I think it's easy. What's missing? Are there two windshield? No. Okay, this windshield. Okay. Makes more sense.
Oh, there's the spoke set. Okay. It's just so we come finicky spots on it. Just get it from different angles. It should clear pretty fast.
Yay.
There we go. Oh boy! I'm gonna romp a fanfics. Oh no. That gun room.
Alright. This definitely gonna be for me. I need to make some food and then prepare for dynamite in about an hour.
Oh, good. Doing your watch party?
Yes.
Excellent. I thought there was a gnome on every map, but I couldn't find one to haunt you with.
Dang. I mean, good.
Oh, here it is. Come here now.
What?
I'll be the gnome.
This standoff has gotten more of a standstill. Where's the gnome?
I've got the exit.
We're trapped. We're trapped with nothing but a motorcycle.
Now we can play Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds.
Oh no.
By the way, I don't know if you've noticed, like, funny detail about this game. Like, when you spray something that's supposed to be sprayable and it leaves a residual, but if you spray anything else, there's no residual.
Oh yeah. Quality of life feature, maybe?
Yeah, possibly. I was always thinking maybe it was, like, easier to program it that way, but it's always just been so fascinating.
Right. This was fun. I think I might have to make this whole save and spray thing, I guess, more often.
But yeah, I'm down for more.
Someone else said they
I've been
wanted
addicted
to.
this game lately.
Someone else said they wanted to join me for a PowerWash sometimes. I think I might see if I can get some rotating guests.
Yeah, you could swap around. Or you could realize that co-op has up to 6 slots. I'm kidding, don't do that. Make it way too fast.
Probably.
Also, I love how this map has the step ladder. Like, what would we possibly need the step ladder for?
Not to clean the light bulb. Even better.
Not again.
This is burst. So I am going to make some food. Probably just throw pizza in the oven.
Excellent. Good. Thank you for having me, though.
Thanks for joining me, and thanks everybody for hanging out. I will do something tomorrow. Don't know what. And I always say this, I'm gonna do something, I don't know what. Either way. But yeah, as always, have a good one. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.